right, here we go. Going live on YouTube. It's preparing. Hopefully, if you wanted to be on Zoom, you're able to find it. Find the link here. Awesome. Welcome. Good morning. Good morning. Yay, you found the link. Thanks, Deb. Good morning. Awesome. Okay, let me go over to YouTube and mute that because sometimes that echoes. I'm hearing that. Okay, good morning. It is Saturday, day 6. It's amazing to realize this, and been thinking about this for a while, right? As I shared, and here we are, day 6, and little by little sharing some of the information and things I've been learning and how it's been so impactful in my life. And I'm so excited to share it. And yesterday we were talking about, on day 5, about true choices and being in that creative flow. And what's so exciting for me is being in this creative flow for this. I could be up late, get up early. I have this energy. I really want to do it. And it's that creative energy of creating this and watching it blossom and bloom and feeling it in myself. And I shared in the beginning, I'm doing this for myself, and I really wanted to bring others in to do it too, because it's so amazing and how it's impacted my life. And I look forward to tomorrow. So before I start for today, I want to share tomorrow is Sunday, day 7. And on Sundays, I've been doing a Zoom call at 10 a.m. Pacific time here for an hour, and maybe a little less, a little more, however it flows. And I really invite you to join. And I'm not sure I will do this live on YouTube because there's some processes that I like to do. And until you know all the teachings and getting into the creative flow, it's really not a process that would you get the full impact. So I think what I'll do is I'll just do the Zoom call, I'll put it in our Facebook groups to emphasize that the aspects of getting in this creative flow and all the parts of consciousness. So with that being said, I'll share the Zoom link for tomorrow in Facebook and Telegram, and I'll also put the link in the YouTube for today if you'd like to join in for tomorrow on Sunday for an hour. And I also want to say I'm so grateful and thankful from my heart for all of you who have been watching and sharing it with others. I mean, that's really, it makes me emotional. That's the vision of creating this ripple and us realizing our truest potential of who we are. We have this inner technology, our mind and heart, to create, and let's create this world from the inside out. Create our lives and just really harness this energy. And it's something that hasn't been taught through our lives. And that's what's so exciting about this, is to realize, and I'm grateful for all of the teachers I've experienced and those teachers who have experienced many teachers, where it's all getting fine-tuned, and it's just amazing. So that's my gratitude for today, this morning, before we start, and some logistics for tomorrow. So beautiful. Okay, so what I'm going to do today is, it is day 6. And today we're going to talk about parts of ourselves. And let me get into a screen share here, and I can show what I put together for today. What's been so exciting about this too for me is I've been doing Sunday Zoom, so I have some images and things I put together, but for this, the 21 days and doing portions every day, it's been so fun to see how this evolves, because I didn't start with a plan. I'm letting this evolve. And it's been so amazing. And so let's start here. Let's start with this slideshow. Let me get in the slideshow mode and just open this up. So this is a little recap on the last 4 days. Day one, we started with heart awareness and breathing with our heart, bringing our awareness into our heart and breathing and taking those breaths with universe and the earth, full breaths, bringing it in. Day two, getting into innocence, getting into that place of innocence, in no sense, like you have no attachment to anything. It just, is, you're playing. It's just like a child. And day three is presence, being present in this moment, the gift of this moment. This is where your power is, in the moment, versus the distractions of focusing on the past, the future, or even present moment distractions that we have so many of, right? Our phones, all the many jobs, how busy we are. There's so many distractions that take us out of our present moment and empowerment. And then day four was true choices. Oh, I'm missing one. It looks like day four. Whoops, I skipped one. Day four was actually responsibility, self-responsibility, owning what is yours. What is your response versus reactions? What are your feelings versus others? Being responsible for what you create in your life. And realizing you co-create with others, but that's the one that, you can adjust the sails, right? You can't control the wind, but you can adjust the sails. I love that. So I'll have to adjust this little screen and I'll post it in the group. And then day five is true choices, and true choices of really putting all your energy into creating something instead of dissolving something. So I like the analogy of a garden. We used that last week in our Sunday Zoom of, right, we get into the image of creating our harvest of what we desire to eat for our bodies and to feel good and nourishment. And then we went back to our current moment and what's the next step, right? Getting the seeds we want. Okay, planting the seeds. And all the while we're in this creative mode. Okay, what needs to happen next to create that? We weren't about destroying anything or dissolving anything. So that's a recap. And then today is going to be about parts and aspects. And sometimes I might go a little fast because I know I had planned about 15 minutes. Sometimes it's going to go about 20 minutes on these days, but this is fun. These are really great information. And this is a chart I'm going to put into the group. It's the human journey. And what I've been doing is a lot of what I'm sharing too is part of a training I did with Magnetic Mind, and it's just been amazing. So, and I'll share more about that tomorrow. So this is the human journey, a chart. And on the top of it, you see, we come from pure creative spirit, right? Or we're just part of everything. And then we are born into this world, right? And, almost, it's for some who've shared, it's a shocking experience of individuality and learning, instead of the expansive all, you're into a limited perspective and learning how to orientate with this world through those limitations, right? We've all had such unique experiences that along the way going down that create this belief system, like to create in your life. So part of the subconscious that's been trained, it's all this instructions that have been formed since birth on what keeps you safe. It's really the subconscious is trying to keep you safe or figure out, a resolution to a limitation. And a lot of the times, in number 4, you see it says it creates an oscillation. And I'm going to talk about that next. Okay, I'm going to move forward actually, and then come back to those two. So yesterday we talked about the consciousness and the iceberg, where the subconscious, like all these instructions and programs that run automatically, like 80 to 90%. I can't remember the exact percentage they've discovered. And I think we all can relate to things that have happened automatically in our lives, whether it's a reaction or habits you've done and realize, and or even ways you've kept yourself safe. Quote, I'll say safe because sometimes that safety can keep us from our truest desires. So on the right is this little chart I drew, and it's a little flipped it a little bit. So on the bottom is self-conscious. That's our waking state. That's our place of making these choices, right? You get to go from A to B, hot and cold, black and white. It's the world of polarity and experience, right? And navigating. And then the circle above it is the subconscious. That's the bottom of the iceberg. The subconscious, you notice it has a little cross in there. And the subconscious, really, its whole role is to keep you safe, bring balance, bring it back to that safe place. So for whatever instructions are in the subconscious, it's going to bring it back to that safety, to that balance. So if you are trying to create something new and you are in your self-conscious part, right, trying to create something new, like let's say trying to in the self-conscious way, you're trying to lose weight, so you go into diets and you start restricting and working out and doing these things, and it feels uncomfortable and all this, and then the subconscious has programs, and this doesn't feel right, or whatever the instructions are, this isn't comfortable, it's much more comfortable the other way. So then there's this oscillation that these habits come up and it swings back the other way into the habits, whatever brought in the weight gain, the food, the physical activity or lack of. So it's this subconscious belief system. And when we can go up into the higher circle, the superconscious that just sees everything as information, right? It can help rewrite the subconscious, creating safety and flow to where in the self-conscious you choose, and it's so much easier, and you're not choosing from a place of polarity like the self-conscious. When you're in superconscious, you're going into those true choices we talked about. So instead of losing weight and doing a diet, you go into a place, a higher perspective of I choose health and vitality. And it's a choice that it is a future thing and a present thing. So for example, I'm choosing health and vitality, and in this present moment, I feel the health and vitality that I have. And just like the garden, I've planted seeds, and I'm watering and nourishing and recognizing all of the health and vitality I currently have, while I continue to feel into my end result of health and vitality, like where I envision and feel and see myself hiking on a mountain and breathing the air, and just that moment I know I've reached that place of health and vitality. And I share this part because this has been huge in my life, is I am witnessing currently, this is my current choice of health and vitality, and witnessing daily my choices when I tune in to that superconscious and choose health and vitality. It comes down into my self-conscious, and I feel what my next aligned action is. And like I got a new cup, a new steel cup for water, so I could drink more water. Every day it's something different, but it's coming from this place of superconscious instead of self-conscious. So there's no oscillation. It's more of a consistency, but the consistency is tuning in every day into that end result of that true choice. All right, so that's a lot for right now. So I'm going to go back and share a few things about aspects. So these little parts of ourselves that were created these instructions through life, through peer interactions, through different traumas in life. We we all, we all experience things differently. There can be a child, two different children, babies, who experience the same exact thing, but one reacts like if it got a lot of attention, right, was really well cared for, it felt smothered. So it really had this instruction to avoid all this attention, where the other one just loved it and soaked it up. So it had this instruction to seek out attention. So it's very interesting. We're all so unique, and there's nothing wrong with these instructions we've created. We were learning, and we can also teach our subconscious even more. So what we're finding is everything can break down into these 6 sabotaging identities. So when you're in that creative flow, we'll do a little process before we go. Some of these may pop up as little boulders in the river, stopping some of the flow. Like, I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy, I'm not capable, I'm insignificant, I'm not perfect, and I don't belong. Those are all different aspects, and they can show up in so many ways. And over the rest of these days, we'll talk more of that and how it shows up, and that we can recognize these parts without shame, or trying to dissolve it, because it's an aspect. It was there for a reason, creating safety. So these are 2 metaphors I use a lot, and we're going to use some of this tomorrow. And what we'll be doing is a recode. We'll get to restructure and reprogram some of these instructions. And so, like, I call it all my kids on the bus. There's parts of me that, that sabotager will come up that feels unworthy and may stop, create this feeling. I feel the feeling in my gut, and I'll stop when I'm doing in my flow, because that part shows up. Or if I felt threatened, or there's an aspect of me that would go hide, just recognizing all these certain parts of you. And there's those parts that show up randomly, like out of the blue, and you have no idea where that came from. If you ever had that experience where you might be even in a really heated moment, especially in relationships, there's aspects that can come up that you're like, where did that come from? So I might reference that, all the kids on my bus, right? And getting them all in agreement, and so we can go on the road, on the move. The other one, another metaphor is great, is a pirate ship. So this is the Pirates of the Caribbean. And, the captain will say, I want to go this direction. And, we're going there. We're going to that island over there. And the crew will be like, we've never been there before, and it doesn't feel safe. I don't think so. We're in mutiny. We're going to go this direction. So that is a great metaphor. And I present this to you today to really just observe and reflect in your life about these different parts and aspects. And these 2 pictures I'd like to leave you with today, and we'll do a heart moment before we go, is the one on the right is an eddy in a river. And there's times I recognize when I get into an eddy, where I circle and circle and circle, and I feel like I can't get out and get back in that flow. And there is a way and some great tools to easily get out of that eddy and back into flow, back into that creative process. So again, we're getting focused and being creative, creating something instead of breaking it down. So the picture on the right, I love it, because you look at the goat jumping over this huge crevice to the other side, and you better believe it, all of his energy, or her energy, well, I think he's got horns, it's a he, needs to be focused and creating to get to that other side. There's no focus on, oh my gosh, are the rocks behind me going to fall? Oh my gosh, what am I leaving behind? Is it safer on this side? Nope. You've got to buy in, put all your energy and go forward and jump. And that's the creative flow. All right, so I'm going to stop this share. And before we go, going a little longer, but let's go ahead and close your eyes and put your hand on your heart. Bring your awareness there and breathe. Do that breath where you're going to pull in from the earth into your heart and out. And from the stars, the universe above, pull it in and down into your heart. Inhale and let it out. Circle around you. And on this next breath, pull them both in together from the earth and the stars, the universe together. Inhale. And let it out. I really find that technique helpful in getting present and feeling my body. So I invite you at this moment before we go is to set the seed in your heart to observe, to witness. Let yourself see any parts and aspects and just reflect without judgment as much as possible today. Just to, you may recognize these parts, you may not, but to allow them to come up into your consciousness to see or not. You don't have to see it all. We'll get to do a process tomorrow that can be amazing. All right. So on that note for today, day 6, going a little late. It's about 23 minutes in. So I send you so much love and thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. And I'll put the link in for tomorrow. It's at 10 a.m. on Sunday, Pacific time. Okay. Much love. Oh, see my finger? I smashed it in case you see that. But it's healing. Health and vitality. All right. Much love. Bye.